If you could have two paints to swear by for the rest of 2022, who would you pick? Now, I know my choice, and let me share them with you. Hello guys, this is MC the Miniature Surgeon here, real life surgeon with a passion for all things Warhammer. And signing into today's OR, I'm going to show you what my two must-have paints are. Sorry for the long sabbatical guys, and thank you all for the positive messages in the meantime. Just so all you loyal viewers out there know, most of that time spent away was in organizing and leading up to a very special occasion with who is now Mrs. Surgeon. As always guys, timestamps are in the description. Let's go. Kicking off an absolute personal favorite, it's got to be none other than Flesh Terrace Red. Because come on, what else did you think a surgeon would pick? I'm going to skip the BS on how contrast paints can cover a surface and shade it at the same time because, well, you already know that, right? And today I'm going to show you a personal favorite, if somewhat messy way, to create realistic bloodstain effects fit for a cardiac surgeon in just 5 minutes. On your weapon of choice, choose an area that has a natural point of impact and paint on a few streaks of undiluted Flesh Terrace Red. Remember during this step to obey the laws of physics and have them dripping downwards on your model. To sell the illusion better, create some pooling at 1, where the point of impact is, and 2, at the very bottom of where your blood streaks are. This deep, vibrant red is going to represent your enemy's fresh blood. After this layer has dried, go ahead and dabble on small drops of Flesh Terrace Red at the edge of your bloodstain. Give it about 10 seconds to settle and then carefully, with your finger, smear it in the direction of your choice. For this example of my Blood Angel's Whitescar, I'll smear in the direction of the Executioner's Blade's Blow. To give the blade some extra depth and story, we're going to mix Flesh Terrace Red and Wyldwood at a ratio of 1:1. This brownish red mixture represents dried blood that has had time to dry and oxidize on the blade. Simply add on a few patches and streaks away from the area of the fresh blood to sell the grim dark story behind our Executioner. Feel free to use the smearing technique as well, but remember for this step, less can be more. And there we have it, our Whitescar ready to smash some heretics up. And before we time out into the second OR, if you're a returning viewer to the Miniature Surgeon community, do hit that like and subscribe button stat for more awesome content from your favorite surgeon. And moving on to paint number 2, it's none other than Talassar Blue. My favorite use for Talassar Blue is to crank out some quick and awesome power weapons in absolutely no time at all. For this technique, you can prime your power weapon with any shade of white of your choice. First, dilute Talassar Blue with contrast medium or any medium of your choice at a ratio of 1:4. Then, load up your brush and be sure to get rid of all the excess and go along the entirety of the blade to give it a very thin coat. For the following steps, we're going to divide the blade into fifths and repeat the process, but this time only going over the top 80% of the blade. Then we're going to go into the reverse direction and go over the bottom 80% of the blade on the other side to give it a smooth, thin layer of the Talassar Blue mix. Next, we're going to do the exact same thing, but this time for the other 60% of the blade, remembering to do the exact same thing for the opposite side as well. And you guessed it, we're going to repeat the exact same thing but for the next 40% and then the next 20% of the blade. Sure enough, you can see the effect building up very well. Contrast paints are great in this regard since it has a great balance between its translucency and coverage that allows layers to blend into each other seamlessly. With Whitescar, go ahead and edge highlight all the sharpest edges. For some added effect, paint on small random streaks of lightning with Whitescar. For your characters and lieutenants, a few extra quick layers of Ulthorn Grey mixed 1:3 with medium towards the tip of the blade can smoothen out all transitions and give an even creamier blend. These are just one of few ways you can get these two paints to work their magic for you. Which two paints would you choose if you had to stick with them for the rest of 2022? Are there any other painting hacks that you have yourself? Do let me know in the comment section below guys, because that's where I learned from you as well. It won't be the first time a viewer inspired the next video for the Miniature Surgeon community. As always guys, if you've learned something that you didn't already know, do give me a high five by smashing that like button and hitting subscribe. I know you won't leave me hanging, right? Guys, This is MC the Miniature Surgeon, signing out.